this, it took a long time, yeah. Just to feel like this, it took a long time, yeah. Just to look like this, it took a long time, yeah. Just to look like this, it took a long time, yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to do something right now. I'm gonna get caught. We know what I do. I'm gonna go to the side. We gonna do that. Little black jean jacket, yeah. Got be long on it, yeah. Got that bad bitch, yeah. Wanna fuck me, my homie, yeah. Got that bad bitch, yeah. Tryna fuck me, my homie, yeah. Shawty gon' suck to the money, yeah. I can't wait no diet, yeah. Pay that bitch on home, yeah. I just fucked your diet, yeah. I ain't even pass it to home, yeah. We might ride it home, we might ride it home, we might ride it home. I'd rather get caught with it than without it. Wake up and smell the motherfucking coffee. I'm about the pretty boys and the cows. I ain't felt like this in a long time. I ain't felt like this in a long time. I ain't had shit in a long time. Just to feel like this, it took a long time, yeah. Just to feel like this, it took a long time, yeah. Just to look like this, it took a long time, yeah. Just to look like this, it took a long time, yeah.
I've been to Atlanta.
Most definitely been to.
With who?
No cap and gown, I ain't go to class. I'd rather die before I come in last.
Would you just send me your address? You didn't send me your address. You forget?
I ain't had shit in a long time. I ain't felt like this in a long time. I ain't felt like this in a long time. I ain't had shit in a long time. Just to feel like this, it took a long time, yeah. Just to feel like this, it took a long time, yeah. Just to look like this, it took a long time, yeah. Just to look like this, it took a long time, yeah. I ain't had shit in a long time. 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 Just to feel like this, it took a long time, yeah. Just to feel like this, it took a long time, yeah.
Good morning and welcome back. Oh, the 3 box is fucked. Rav, how do we get it under control?
How's it fucked? It looks good to me.
Is it fucked on your screen, Lauren, or no?
It looks good to me.
Am I botting?
Let me see.
Am I botting?
It looks perfect to me.
Yeah, it looks like immaculate.
Okay, Lauren's taking up both squares on mine, but we'll just go as long as it looks good for everyone else. All right, perfect. If it looks good, it looks good. Welcome back to TMA. We are officially back. Sorry about yesterday. We had some technical difficulties, but I got news for you. We're back in action today. The NFL Round 1 draft happened. A lot of things went down. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Obviously, the Knicks won. That's huge. The Thunder came back. The Clippers' home environment looked unbelievable. But football rules. Oh, yeah. Do you guys want to see my view?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
You guys want to see the view, dude? You guys want to see the view? Also, in case you guys are wondering, peep the artwork.
Tough. Tough. Beautiful.
Peep the artwork. All right, you guys want to see the view? You guys want to peep this view? Hold on, the door's so heavy. All right, guys. This is official live view.
Wow.
Shit, player.
I mean, wow.
Wow.
So tough.
Wow. Wait, did I show you guys the view?
Okay, it's not cool anymore.
All right, hold on. Let me get back to it.
Literally overlooking the city.
Let me get back.
Bro.
All right, but like I was saying, as we know in sports, football rules all, and a lot of football teams tried to make some decisions for their future last night. I mean, obviously the biggest story is Shadur Sanders dropping to the second round. I tweeted the clip yesterday, and I brought it up when Lauren was on Wednesday. that my hot take was that I thought he was going to drop in the draft because I think football and the NFL cares more about the interviews and how you come off as a person and not so much the play on the field. And there was a lot of discourse last night, not only on Twitter, but during the broadcast, where people were really upset that he was falling. And I would love to know your guys' opinions, because at least for me, I understand why a kid like Shadur falls in a draft like this. He doesn't do anything off the field and no interview and no little snippet where I go, and maybe this is a little rude, where I go, wow, this kid seems like a great guy. Like, he seems like a guy I'd want to be around in a locker room. He seems like a guy that I'd want to get behind. And maybe when you're his teammate, it's a little different, but I feel like in every clip, he kind of comes off a little bit like a douche. And I don't know if there's like a better word for it. And I feel like that's exactly why you watched him drop out of the first round, whereas the Giants went and got their guy Jackson Dart and traded up, which I think when you look at what the Giants are trying to build, I think Dart fits that system more. I don't think that was we're taking Dart over Shadur because of X, Y, and Z. I think that was like a genuine system fit. But Shadur drops out of the first round. What is your guys' first opinion? I think he should have. Like, I also don't think this is a great draft for quarterbacks. Once like the draft got going and you start really looking at these guys outside of Cam Ward, who even at Miami, I think in spots was pretty unimpressive. There really wasn't a Trevor Lawrence caliber or what we've seen in the past from like really great quarterback drafts in college. Obviously Trevor Lawrence might be a bad example, but it did feel like if there was ever a quarterback to drop into the first round, I wasn't as shocked as I think a lot of people were that it was Shadur.
I just don't think teams want an egotistical maniac that already thinks he's the shit before even playing a snap. And on top of that, him thinking the shit plus not actually being as good as former top quarterback prospects. I mean, it just sounds like a horrible combo that no one wanted. That's basically
Yeah, dude, the first thing I thought about was, I don't know if y'all remember like 2 months ago where I'm pretty sure he was wearing New York Giants cleats.
Mm-hmm.
And so like when the Giants traded up, I for sure thought they were going to get him. And then they didn't. I thought that was nuts. But yeah, I just like, from what I've seen, like, I think all like, or at least the Giants just think Jackson, or for one, he's a dual threat quarterback. And obviously that's super attractive. And I think they just thought he's much more likable, which I completely see that. So I don't know. If I'm them, I'm going Dart too. So
yeah, I mean,
I agree, dude. I think that's the one thing.
I don't
more
think
that
it's
I don't
that
think a lot of
crazy.
people
I'm like when you watch the film, I'm like, I want Dart. And he can do everything. And he knows how to stay in the pocket and take hits when he needs to. He knows when to take off when he needs to. Shador can't.
Dude, 100%. I feel like not a lot of people are looking at it in terms of that perspective, where I feel like if I'm the Giants, I'm drafting Dart too. He gives you way more in an offense where the offensive line isn't that phenomenal. You don't have that strong of a run game with Tyrone Tracy yet. And you kind of need a guy that can do everything. And no offense to Shadur at Colorado, he didn't really have a run game and he couldn't do everything. It's either he can put the ball right on a target or you're not really getting much out of him. And I feel like in New York, if you're Brian Dable, the way you're trying to build that offense right now, you need someone that can kind of do it all. And Jackson Dart, I feel like, is the only guy that they were talking about in that first round that's a do-it-all quarterback that still can throw the ball a country mile when you need him to.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a concern with Dart, though, that he was more of like a product of an incredible offense.
Yeah, like a system quarterback kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think
I don't know. I feel like a system quarterback is one you get like plugged into. He was there for 3 years. So I don't know if it's like they kind of built the system around him and the way he played. And I think Kiffin surrounded him with guys that were going to make him better. But I don't know. I feel like, I mean, I said it from the beginning. I thought Dart was the second best quarterback in this class, if not the best. And I thought Shadur was going to slide. I mean, it's also like, dude, you look at the thing he built at his house like this. I tweeted it last night. He built a shrine to himself in his own house. And I think when you're an NFL GM and NFL head coach, like looking at that stuff, you're like, dude, I don't want to draft this guy. Like, I don't want to draft this guy. This guy is so obsessed and involved with himself. He ends every sentence now with legendary. Like, even after he didn't get drafted, he was like, I'm putting all things in God and, just legendary. It's like,
dude, I don't know if you remember, I have a legendary hat. I have a Shador
That's-
hat
that
in
is
the closet
crazy,
right
you
now.
do.
I didn't
You
want
have
to
to
watch
do it.
that video of the one of him addressing his entire draft room, saying like, they made a mistake, or I forget what he said, but I just didn't even want to feel the secondhand embarrassment that I was going to feel from watching that damn video. I had to have felt that would have been horrible.
Well, so Rev, as a Steelers fan, you guys were the team that was taking Shador. It was Mike Tomlin loves him. Everyone in the Steelers loves him. He's working out with George Pickens loves him. As a Steelers fan, when that pick came up, were you going, this is Shador time? I know even looking at the Barstool content too, they have Jersey Jerry and they were like, who do you want? And he said Shador. Or he said Shadussi, which I thought was so fucking funny.
No way he said that.
Yeah. So as a Steelers fan, you're sitting there, which by the way, I'm not going to say I told you so. I think this is also a product of Aaron Rodgers holding you guys hostage and you guys not knowing what you're doing and taking maybe your second guy on the board. Because I think Shador was your first. And I think now it's maybe coming to fruition that Aaron Rodgers wants to play football and wants to play for the Steelers. Yeah. So like I told you, I think you guys are in a little bit of a limbo and you're in a little bit of a hostage situation where it's like, if we draft Shador and then Rodgers comes, that's going to be a really weird thing. But if Aaron Rodgers is telling us he wants to play, we'll just draft something that we need. That's not the quarterback position. But I know as a Steelers fan, everyone in there thought Shador was going to pop up on that screen.
I definitely thought he did. At the beginning of the day yesterday, I thought he for sure was going to be our draft pick. I was telling, I think, the whole stream this yesterday, and I'll see this too. There was going to be like three directions they went. It was going to be one, if Tomlin still has like a huge hold of the franchise and has a huge impact on decision making, it would have been Shador. They went back and forth yesterday, supposedly all day, on whether they wanted to do Shador or take Harmon or whatever, good fit they could get at defensive tackle, which I still think the pick was great. Harmon can be a great defensive tackle for us. And he was a position of need too. But I think they were going back and forth, and they just ultimately decided that they didn't want to deal with a quarterback like that. And I think that they have enough trust that Rodgers is going to sign with them for at least 1 year, and that they can get by with Rodgers for 1 year and then look ahead to next year's draft, which is supposed to be a little deeper at quarterback, which I honestly, I think that's a great way to look at it. And I think it's a great way to do things. I would be completely fine with Rodgers for 1 year. I thought it was going to be Shador, but as the day went on, I was like, I don't know if I want this. Like, I don't know if I want to put first round draft eggs into a basket. You know what I'm saying? For a quarterback that may not even, I feel like has a less chance of being successful than any quarterback we'd take next year.
Yeah, Rob, I was surprised yesterday. I already told you, but seeing you post perfect timing, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, dude, I feel like Rap's sitting over here. Dude, Rap's sitting over here like he didn't post perfect timing on every platform, being like, dude, Shador's the guy. And now he's like, well, now, I didn't want to put those eggs in a basket that I wasn't prepared.
I was kind of settled on them doing it, honestly. Like, I thought that it was going to happen. Like, I was like, okay, if it's going to happen, I might as well buy in.
Yeah, you got to buy in.
And, try to, like, be supportive for as long as possible. But I'm kind of happy it didn't, for being honest.
So, Lauren, I know you're definitely a Shador person. I was 2 years ago, not necessarily last year. Just kind of like as a person that I feel like has always supported Shador, I wanted to get your opinion on this because as I went to bed last night and the first round closed and he officially dropped, the other thing that I thought about that I would have just kind of loved your opinion on is it feels like when you draft Shador, you get that traveling circus too.
100%.
And if you're an NFL GM, I feel like that gets so unattractive once you get to the point where you're drafting him. And I think pre-draft, you're kind of like, oh, like, it's Shador. He's got the brother with the camera. His dad is Dion. Like, if you're an NFL GM and you have to actually click that button or make that phone call of drafting Shador and you start seeing that traveling circus of he built the room, they got a Twitch vlog going. Like, if you're that NFL GM, does that traveling circus not also turn you off?
Yeah, I think so. And I think another thing that turned teams off was that he only had like a few teams he said he would play for. And it's like, that's not very attractive. And another thing is like, I have been a Shador person. I love the confidence. I think people mistake cocky and confidence. But what I question about him is his leadership. You know what I mean? It kind of seems like you're either part of his clique or he wants nothing to do with you. Just like things you've heard like come out of Colorado. It's kind of like you're one of his guys or he just like kind of throws you to the curb. And I think that's like a big a big problem with him. And I think a lot of GMs saw that, like in the interviews.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I did watch that video that Rav didn't want to watch, and it was just so embarrassing. But he just doesn't seem like he'd be a great leader, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
I think it comes with
That's what I'm saying.
With growing up in a family like that, and I wouldn't say he's entitled, but when you're in a family like the Sanders family, maybe you lack some certain qualities that quarterbacks need.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Now let's looking at the draft as a whole for teams that made their decisions, for fans that are excited out there. Dude, if I'm Tennessee, I feel like something that keeps going under the radar is they just got their quarterback for the future. And I think this just shows you also the problem with Shadur is that this is the only thing people are going to talk about all day when you turn on ESPN, Fox Sports. It's all going to be Shadur drop, Shadur drop. But there was still a quarterback taking 1-1 that I think is going to completely change the face of Tennessee. I mean, you're looking at a guy in Cam Ward. If I'm a Titans fan, you want to talk about a leader. You want to talk about from the mud. You want to talk about a guy that has been through it all and really just wants to be a football player. You're talking about Cam Ward. I mean, from Incarnate Word to Washington State to Miami, this kid has only gotten better every single year he's played football. And now the dream comes true of 1-1. If I'm a Tennessee Titans fan, dude, I'm as happy as I've been in a long time.
For sure. Yeah.
A long time.
No, I think he's gonna be a stud.
Stud, dude. Stud.
He's already getting the Mahomey comparisons, though, which is a little concerning.
A little concerning, but I think, if there's a guy that can handle that and it's not going to bother him, even when you watch the clips of Cam Ward working out with Shadur, I know they're best friends, you kind of saw Cam Ward's mentality, and he's just one of these guys where I don't think he cares. Anything that's going on, I think he's done such a great job just because of how his college career started and where he ended up, of building what seems like a bulletproof mental. There's not anything that I think is really going to bother that kid. I do think if you're a Titans fan, though, this is a 3-year project. He has no weapons. He has no one to throw to. Yeah. He doesn't have a phenomenal offensive line. This is going to be a project, and I think going into this year, giving him a little bit of grace.
You're the first overall, you know what you're signed up for. It's going to be a process.
Yeah, look at a guy like Bryce Young. I mean, even the jump from year one to getting benched and then the end of year 2. But I'm saying, you're right. When you get drafted that 1-1 spot, it comes with a bag of worms, and you got to be able to figure it out.
Harry for at least the next year or two. If he has that superstar potential, he's gonna have to show it in an offense that's probably super dysfunctional for the next 2 years.
100%. What did you guys think of the Jags trading up to take Travis Hunter? I watched a little bit of Gruden this morning. I just love the way he talks about football. He's just such a football guy. He just seems like he loves everything about it. I think it gave Jacksonville a face for the first time in a really long time is what he was saying, and I definitely agree. I don't know if this necessarily fixes a lot of the problems that the Jaguars have. I think it's it's a pick where you're getting the Heisman, you're getting a Travis Hunter, could be a once-in-a-lifetime player, once-in-a-generation kind of player. I'm interested to see what they do, though. I mean, Gruden made the point. He was like, listen, I think you're out of your mind if you think this kid is going to play both ways in the NFL. He can't be in 2 meetings at once. He can't, it's going to be really – and he coached Charles Woodson was Gruden's point, and he was saying that Woodson wanted to play on offense, and he was like, it's just too difficult in the NFL because you can't be in that cornerback meeting room and you can't be in that wide receiver meeting room. That is just a lot for the NFL, and it seems like Travis is really sold on playing both sides, and maybe the Jaguars are going to let him, but –
yeah, they made a comment yesterday, or he made a comment where I guess he talked to him and they were like, they're going to let me play my way. So I guess it definitely won't be like Colorado where he was doing just both all the time. I was kind of surprised because I always thought he was a little bit better of a DB than a wide receiver, but it kind of seems like the talks are, and I brought it up yesterday too, is just Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter. And I guess he'll go on defense when he can or whatever.
But, and then realize that he should probably just find one.
Yeah.
It's good to be ambitious and want to do both, but
Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter, that is so gross.
That's so gross. I'll tell you what, though, dude, as a Jets fan, and I'm sure Rav is like a Steelers fan, and Lauren, when you're watching whatever team's playing on Sunday, I would be, and I thought about this last night. Like, if the Jaguars are on the Jets schedule, I would be licking fucking chops if they put him on Garrett Wilson after he played a full set on offense. Like, I think like it's going a little bit under the radar that in college in Colorado, you could do it in the Big 12 because you're playing defense against a wide receiver that's not going to be a number 1 overall draft pick.
Yeah.
And then you're running routes against guys that probably aren't going to be drafted in the first round because they're playing defense in the Big 12.
Yeah.
The reality is he's going to be running routes against a Pat Surtain. And then if they want to put him on defense, if I'm the Jets and there is a set where I'm Justin Fields and I see Travis Hunter's lined up on Garrett Wilson and he just came off playing on offense, I'm picking on him and making them sub him out. Like, I feel like that's where it's getting lost a little bit, where it's really cool. And the Jaguars being like, we're going to let him play their way. But if I'm a fan, like if I'm Rav, dude, you're telling me he's either going to be on DK Metcalf or George Pickens after running routes. Like we are throwing at him every single down. There's not even
and then that's how
injuries
happen too, where it's like, now what? You don't get them on either side.
Yeah, and
100%.
He's already get picked on for just they're playing one side. You know,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but great point too. Like if you're a rookie corner, you're already the target's on your back, and now you just played offense in the National Football League, and now you have to guard a Garrett Wilson or a George Pickens. Dude,
yeah,
that feels like honestly, it feels like a dream if you're playing the Jaguars this year. If I like just as a Jets fan being like, I hope they try this experiment, not because I hope he fails, but I think he's going to get burnt more times than not.
Yeah, Gooch, no one's talking about Zay Flowers, brother. No one.
And don't forget Zay Flowers too.
He's
Gooch in the back. What about Zay Flowers?
He's talented as shit, but he's also pretty small. Like he need to put on some muscle too, because he might get bitched around in the league.
If he lines up against DK Metcalf, he's 6 feet deep.
Yeah. I remember, didn't Sauce have that same issue, and did he end up beefing up? Like he was a little small coming into the league.
So his first year, he was fine. Last year was the first year that everyone was like, yo, you need to put weight on. And apparently he put 10 pounds of muscle on this offseason. So I think it happened last year where it was like, dude, you need to like actually start lifting weights. And then a lot of the like Jets Twitter obviously was photos of him showing up to the voluntary workouts and like he looked bigger. So I think, yeah, that definitely happened. But I don't know that, like, I was just thinking about that. And obviously it's like selfishly as like another team's fan, like I'm ecstatic that they're going to try to play him on both sides if we ever see them on our schedule. And I think that was just like me being like him getting lined up against a 1 in the NFL or even a 2. I think it's going to be a nightmare for him.
Yeah.
A nightmare.
Definitely.
There wasn't a lot of other picks that I think were really like talkable in that top 10, other than I definitely want to talk about Teotora for sure. I'd love to hear your guys' takes. I mean, Genty going to the Raiders, it seemed like we started the process saying he was going to go there, and then for whatever reason, it started being they're not going to take him, and then they ended up taking him. I think that's a great fit. Anyone have any opinions on that one?
Well, first, I want to hear your thoughts on Mimbu. Are we happy with that? That's who you wanted?
Dude, I'm ecstatic. Like, I really am, and I think it was like one of two things were going to happen. I knew once he was available that he was definitely going to be the guy, because a lot of it was if Membu's not there, we're going to trade out or take Tyler Warren.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was like the first time as a Jets fan, obviously we drafted Olu last year, and that just felt like we had so many problems that it was like, okay, well, Rodgers is coming off an Achilles. We definitely need to protect him. This just felt like, one, a commitment to protecting Justin Fields.
Yeah. 2,
Morgan Moses leaving. We needed to fill that spot. And I was in the trenches last night watching Membu play. This kid is like that gumbo, dude. He's literally like gumbo. The kid bends insane. Like he never seems to like be off balance. And I couldn't be more excited to have a guy like that. And then also, just Aaron Glenn in the post-draft press conference, and they're like, yeah, I know it's been some time. I wanted to ask you your opinions on Aaron Rodgers and the meeting you guys had in February. He had some choice words about you as like a man and wanted to kind of give you the floor and see if you had any response to that. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. I'm really happy we drafted Membu. I think he's going to be phenomenal. So like, it seems like the Jets are finally shifting the culture, finally trying to find an identity and like fixing the trenches for the first time in a long time. Like, I love this kid. And I think also like, it's Aaron Glenn really, truly committing to Justin Fields and getting an offensive line that we can have for 4 or 5 years now with 2 really young guys Joe Tippmann in the middle that's only been in the league for a couple years. So I loved it, dude. I think he's a fucking dog.
Yeah, so are you happy with the offensive line that the Jets have built, and honestly both lines? Since I think successful teams come with building the trenches. So are you happy with the trenches?
I'm unbelievably happy with our offensive trench. I think Quinnen Williams is just the most disappointing first-round draft pick in a long time. I don't remember the last time he had more than 8 sacks on a year. Like, he's just not who we thought he was going to be.
When y'all had Hard Knocks, we were like, dude, he's going to have 5 sacks a game. They made it seem like he was going to have 5 sacks a game.
His line was like at 9.5, dude, and he had 4 sacks that year, I think.
Yeah.
He's an interior tackle, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a little harder for them to get to the quarterback, like sack-wise. Like, does he do the job, like run
his
stuff?
whole thing? No, dude. We got run on rampant last year. Like, we get like that. Our defense is where I'm hoping Aaron Glenn can come in and really like fix some things, given we had a lot of injuries last year too in the defensive side of the ball. But I love our offensive line. And of course, there's Jets fans that are like screenshotting our line now and being like, this is the best line we've had in 9 years. So like, you're going to get those guys that overreact, but you still have 2 really young guys on the line in Membu and Olu going into his second year. Yeah. But I love this pick. I mean, he seems like a very pro-ready lineman. So
let's go.
Agreed.
I'm amped though, dude, because it's like, I just love it because it's committing to Justin Fields. Everything Aaron Glenn says in like every interview is, I think, just boosting Justin Fields' confidence and then getting him another piece on the line to like really protect him. Like, I feel like Aaron Glenn is finally the first coach that's giving Justin Fields a genuine chance. And now we need to go get some weapons in the next couple rounds for Justin Fields on the wide receiver front, because which is not good. But apparently we're playing smash mouth ball. We're running the ball a lot. So Membu's a perfect addition if that's what we want to do, right?
Yeah, sure.
Talk about Tet.
Yeah, dude. You guys go first because I have an insane.
You didn't like the pick.
I hate the pick, dude. I think he's going to be
hated the pick,
horrid,
too.
dude.
I don't hate the pick. And he went to he's a fucking Arizona Wildcat. I don't hate the pick. I think he has like tremendous ball skills that can, like he can go up and grab those tough balls. The only issue is he can't route run and he can't. But I feel like at the same time, you get in the league for a couple years and you continue to build yourself up. You can develop those traits with other good traits that you already have. So I don't know. I think he can be raw. He used to torch ASU. I remember watching him every year in the Territorial Cup. Like even last year when they were bad, like I think he still had close to 100 yards.
Lauren, what do you think? Because I know we spent some time betting on Arizona early this year.
Yeah, I mean, like Raph said, I mean, he can go up and get a tough ball for sure. He has great hands. It's just, I just question like the separation part of it. Can he get separation? I don't know. To me, I mean, all bias aside, the best wide receiver in this draft was Matthew Golden. So but I'm happy he's not a Panther. I'll tell you that. I do not want Bryce Young throwing balls to Matthew Golden. But I mean, we'll see because I mean, yeah, I used to be pretty high on McMillan, but just after like watching like some film and like some of the reports that came out, I'm just like, I don't think they should have got him that early. But
I do think Golden was a better receiver for sure.
No, for sure.
Dude, I literally could not hate this pick anymore for the Panthers. I don't even think he was the second best wide receiver. And I don't even know if that's a hot take that you guys are willing to have, because I feel like what is the one thing that has killed rookie wide receivers in the past when you look at, I mean, they just happen to be 2 TCU guys, but Jalen Reagor, Quentin Johnston, like these guys that go way higher than it feels like they should be because they have this phenomenal upside of they can go get a ball. If you can't get separation in the NFL, it's a death sentence. And like, I watched Arizona really early on in the beginning of the year, and then I just stopped because they were horrific and Fafita was just not as good as I thought he was. But the problem with McMillan is a lot of the time he has no separation. It's just Fafita throws it up there and he's got to go get it over a guy, which is impressive. But when you get to the NFL, you have to get separation because those guys don't let you win 50-50 balls. Like guys like Pat Surtain, Sauce Gardner, they don't let you win 50-50 balls like you can in college football playing in the Big 12. But I just feel like this was such a reach to get him. This was the worst wide receiver draft I think we've had in a long time. And I just feel like this was such a reach for the Panthers to go do that when a guy like Luther Burden is going to drop to the second round. When you can still get talent like Luther Burden in the second round, it feels like there's no reason to reach on a Teodoro McMillan in the top 10. Like if you're the Panthers, I think you could have traded to the bottom of the first round and still got Teodoro McMillan, because I think Golden should have gone before him. I think Luther Burden should have gone before him. So this just felt like an unbelievable Panthers like reach, like they always do, and buying into the hype of he's 6 foot plus, upside of Mike Evans. And it's just like watching that kid play football for Arizona. I just do not think he is a top 10 NFL draft pick.
There was totally interest too from teams wanting to move up, because they wanted, a lot of teams ended up really wanting Colston Loveland, which I'm sure we'll get to. He turned into like the hot commodity last night, and the Bears ended up taking him. But I think there were a lot of teams that were wanting to draft up ahead of where the Bears were, and the Panthers totally could have done that.
Yeah,
Totally
sure.
could have done that.
That's kind of like my whole thing. It's not that it's just like, oh, it's a horrendous pick. It's just like you for sure could have got more for that and waited and traded back.
100%. I mean,
there's only 3 receivers taken in the first round, which one of them was super questionable. Egbuka.
Which
Yeah.
I think he went very high too, but I think
High, dude.
so high. I don't understand why Luther dropped if those are the 3 that got taken. I think Luther is so fucking good. I hope he ends up on the Jets somehow, some way. But yeah, I mean, let's get to the potentially the funniest pick in the NFL. I just wish Josh was here because I want to make fun of him so freaking bad.
You can't.
But dude, it is just the most Bears organization move of all time to go, we're drafting a tight end in the top 10, and the unanimous, who everyone thinks could be a future Hall of Famer, the next Travis Kelce, looked like an absolute unit in the college football playoff, looked like a unit all year for Penn State. Tyler Warren is on the board, and who did the Bears go and get at 10? Colston Loveland from Michigan. Someone has got to walk me through why that was the pick. I have a buddy in Dallas that's a big Bears fan, and we were just ripping on him, and he sent the Shane Gillis one where he's got the thing in his mouth. Because it's just like, dude, it's the most Bears pick of all time to go, you know what, we're going tight end, and they take Colston Loveland instead of Tyler Warren. And you look at the draft room, dude, when they made the call, when Poles and Ben Johnson are on the phone, the rest of the draft room looks like they couldn't be less interested in the fact that they just took Colston Loveland.
I saw that.
Yeah. I mean, he's a dog. He's good. I don't hate the pick. It's just Warren seemed to be more versatile. You know, you can kind of plug him anywhere and he makes things happen. But I mean, I think Loveland's a good pick. I do wonder why you didn't go Tyler Warren though. You know, for sure, like anyone else.
Went tight end in the first place. I mean, they still have Komet. Komet's obviously not been as great as he's advertised to be, but I don't know. I feel like there were other directions you could have gone there.
I also think, too, like we made the point with McMillan, if you're taking a tight end and you know you want Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren's on the board, you can trade out of that pick and get some capital back because no one's taking him if Tyler Warren's still on the board because no one, I think, is as dumb as the Bears are. Like that, again, feels like there's a couple spots in this draft where you go, okay, we want Colston Loveland, we want a tight end. We could probably trade out of this pick because even if the Niners want a tight end, they're going to go Tyler Warren. Even if the Cowboys, Dolphins, Colts, Falcons, no matter who wants a tight end, everyone else in the NFL, I think, was going to take Tyler Warren. So if you are the Bears and you know you want a tight end and you have a top 10 draft pick, why not trade out of that if you're going to end up taking Colston Loveland anyway, where I feel like you could get him in the bottom of that first round.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just like, it's also just so funny. Like you think about Bears fans, like they hear the name, they hear tight end, and they're like, oh my God, we're getting Tyler Warren. This is going to be sick. Colston Loveland. And he's not even bad. It's just like funny that is like just,
he's really good.
It's just the most Bears thing of all time.
It's just, I just don't think it was expected, obviously.
Yeah, if Josh were here, he'd be talking about how Ben Johnson loves his 2 tight end sets and that him and Komet are just going to be lethal.
Dude, if Josh was here, I'll tell you exactly what he'd say. He would go, Colston Loveland is better in almost everywhere than Tyler Warren. Everyone's just excited over Tyler Warren because the college football playoff, and Colston Loveland is like actually really good, and he had nobody throwing to him. And he would just have completely talked himself into the fact that Colston Loveland is a Hall of Fame tight end. Like, I just know it, dude. I just know it. And it's not that I'm like trying to disrespect Colston Loveland. it's just so funny that it seems like Tyler Warren is a generational tight end and Colson Loveland seems like a good tight end, and the Bears had a chance at generational and took good. It's just how it feels, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, neither played snap yet, so we don't know, but that definitely does feel like that for me too.
Yeah, at least for right now, right? Other than that, there wasn't a lot of stuff that went on that was pretty crazy. I mean, I would love to obviously talk to Lauren about Golden getting drafted. A lot of Texas guys got drafted. We talked about a little bit where Jahdae Barron went. Out of the Texas guys that got drafted, Lauren, who are you most excited for in the situation they're in?
I mean, it kind of sounds weird to say like I'm most excited to see like a DB, but Jahdae Barron on the Broncos, I love that. Playing next to Pat Surtain, like they're gonna be nuts, dude. No fly zone. So I was super happy with that pick. Golden to the Packers, I don't know what to really think. I'm excited for him. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I did kind of want him to be a Cowboy, and I was kind of sad that didn't happen. But time will tell. But if you're a Packers fan, you absolutely got a dog, and you got the best receiver in the draft, without a doubt.
I mean, it does feel like, right? He kind of has to. That wide receiver room is so weird because it feels like the Packers haven't had a true number one since Devontae Adams left the building.
Yeah.
And I think Matthew Golden's very good, but is he walking into a situation where he's the immediate wide receiver one in Green Bay, or who's he behind? Is it Christian Watson then him? Like, I feel like he's walking into a very interesting situation where there's not a lot of guys to learn from in that room. There's not a lot of guys you can draw from. And I feel like I never like those situations for what like young wide receivers where you can't like, I mean, you saw with Garrett, he has to walk in and he can't learn from anybody, just speaking from experience. And like, it feels like because of that, you almost have like really bad regression games because you have no one in the room that's like, oh, just, like if you're going through this, you're going like, you know what I mean? So I think it's a good pick. I think he could end up being Jordan Love's guy for the next 5, 6, 7 years if they end up panning out. But I just hate when young wide receivers get drafted into a room where there's really no one to like learn from, if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. But I just think it's funny, like reading chat, like if he went to any other school, people would be slurping him. Like, how about y'all go watch some film? If you need him to make a play, he's going to go make a play. That's just what it is. And I think Jordan Love has struggled to have a guy where he can really depend on just like throw that 50-50 ball to. And he's a guy that's he's more times than not going to come down with that ball. So
he feels like a 3.
Now, but I mean, you'll see it. Go watch some film.
He feels like a 3 that can easily turn into a 1, like quickly.
Yeah, I agree for sure. I don't think game 1, he's their 1. I agree with you 100%. Like he's definitely going to have to take a couple steps. I think it is crazy that Ibuka went before him though.
Oh, 100%, dude.
Like I think that's a little that I didn't expect the Bucks to take I didn't expect the Bucks to take a weapon.
No, he was wanting them to get Jahdae Barron. The DB,
which
but
is just nuts. Dude. I feel like, and I'm high in Ibuka, dude. I think he's really, really good. That just felt like a weird pick for the Bucks. I don't know that, obviously I'm not an NFL scout, so what the fuck do I know? But I mean, the last two that I really wanted to talk about, and then I'll open the floor for you guys to talk about whoever you want to talk about, is obviously the Giants trading back into the draft. We talked about a little bit, take Jackson Dart. I've said it from the beginning, Jackson Dart was my favorite quarterback in this class. I absolutely love Jackson Dart. And I kind of love this fit for him in the Giants. Like, you're going to a really big market. You have Malik Neighbors. You already have a guy that no matter what happens, you can throw that bitch to him. And it feels like he could really thrive in this New York Giants offense with Brian Dable. And I'm really excited for him in this offense. And I feel like this was a great fit for him. When we talk about quarterbacks and where you go, a lot of it is the fit. I feel like this is such a good fit for him in New York because I feel like they're going to let him do what makes Jackson Dart great, which is kind of let him make a play, open up the field for him. And I do agree, though. I watched the John Gruden quarterback, whatever it's called, with Jackson Dart. Mm-hmm. And I think the one thing he has to do, though, is protect himself, because that first NFL hit where he doesn't go out of bounds and stays up, and he gets cracked by an NFL safety or linebacker or corner. He was talking about how
he tries to go for the +2, I guess, fall forward, get the 2 extra yards. And it's you can't do that at the next level. get
You
killed.
can't. If you sacrifice for those 2 yards, you might lose 2 weeks off your season.
Yeah.
He's also swaggy too. Like he brings like a not like an aura because he doesn't. I mean, you can't be giving him aura. Saying he has aura yet, and he hasn't even played snap. But he gives like a swag back to the Giants that I think they've been kind of missing a little bit. You know,
Him and Neighbors, dude. That just feels so good.
for sure.
So good. Josh and I did an entire first round mock draft, posted it on TikTok. I think it's almost had 1 million views, and a lot of people were clowning us. But then after the draft, we actually got a lot of picks right that I don't think people expected us to get right. One of them was one that I said I'm falling in love with, and I hope Goots is in here because I want to give them their flowers. Malachi Starks to the Ravens, I think, is one of the best picks in the entire draft. Like, this kid is so fucking good. You want to talk about no-fly zones. It feels like the Ravens are starting to commit to going, okay, when we won the Super Bowl, we had one of the best defenses in the National Football League. And I think this kid, Malachi Starks, is just another building block on, like, he's such a versatile safety. And I love him in Baltimore, even though Lamar still doesn't have any weapons. So it's like, what the fuck are we doing other than Derrick Henry and like Zay Flowers? Like, he needs more on the ball catching side if Mark Andrews is going to catch balls. But I love this kid, Malachi Starks from Georgia, just sitting in that Ravens defense. Like, he's going to be so good.
Yeah, I agree.
But I was juiced for that one because that one felt good.
No, actually, I do like Malachi Starks too, but now that he's gone to a cesspool of horrible, his career is wasted.
I just do it. Is there any other draft picks you guys wanted to talk about before we move to what happened in the NBA last night in the NBA playoffs? Or maybe we'll do biggest winners and losers. Who is your biggest winner of the NFL draft? We'll start with Lauren, then go to Rav, and then I'll close it out.
I mean, I like what the Giants did. I mean, they laid nuts on
Me
Tay,
too.
but the one that sticks out to me is the Jaguars, dude. I just really like that ballsy move by them.
Yeah.
I thought that was
I
really
agree.
cool. It's like the first time where it's like, all right, like the Jags, they're making moves. Like, here they are. I thought that was pretty cool.
Dude. Shit, I don't know. I mean, maybe you could go. I feel like the obvious answer is the Jags, and then if not the Giants. But you could even say, how about the Falcons drafting 2 edge defensive outside linebackers after not really having a huge great edge since Vic Beasley. They took James Pierce and the guy from Georgia. What was his name? Taylor Walker.
Yeah, Jalen Walker.
Jalen Walker, yeah.
Taylor Walker. Yeah, I think both those guys can be really good. And worst comes to worst, you miss on one and hit on the other.
Yeah, it feels like it does, but it feels like that's why they did it. Because I think the Falcons just know they always miss, and it was like, all right, maybe we'll just double up and just see who's better.
They definitely could use both too. Imagine if both hit.
I
did want to bring up one more thing. I want to try to share my screen here. I don't know if it's gonna work.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You guys see the Tyler Booker, Micah Parsons thing?
Yeah, I would love to play that for the people that might not.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that.
This kid is going to be a fucking problem.
Can you guys see this?
Mm-hmm.
I can see it, yep.
Hey, let me take this off. Ah, shit.
Oh, what's up?
There he is.
Let's do this. No.
Okay.
How do you get the format off?
I'm not sure.
Should we
You can just play the video, though. They can see it in the main screen.
Mm-hmm.
What does it feel like to see the love of football leave someone's eyes?
It feels great, like football is a child's game. So like people wake up, be like, man, I can't wait to play this football game today. They listen to their hype music, they take all the pre-workout, they get so excited to play football until they come across Tyler Booker. And then when I'm going after you, quarter after quarter, play after play, series after series, and I start to see that love leave their eyes, like that's what makes me love the game. Like I just really love.
I like that. I like that.
That is so good, dude. That is so good.
I'm
That is
sorry,
so good.
I had to show that.
No, I mean, that's just I love that for them. Like that is just like even just to have a guy like that's that young and just like loves that part of football.
Yeah.
Like that's so good.
Yeah, he already has the mentality where it's like, I'm gonna dominate you.
Mm-hmm.
Like dominate. I think my biggest winner of the draft, and then I'll follow it with my biggest loser. I think my biggest winner, dude, it might be the Eagles, dude. I mean, you got the best linebacker in the draft, it felt like, bar none. This kid, Jahad Campbell out of Alabama, is a fucking problem. And the fact that they just won the Super Bowl and lost a lot of pieces on defense, and now you get the best linebacker in the entire draft by what I think is a country mile.
Jalen Walker clears. I'm sorry.
I don't know, dude. Like, get it. But if you're the Eagles and you get a Jahad Campbell with what they're allowed to do on defense this year from the Philadelphia perspective, like, this kid is going to be a fucking problem. And I think, like, to go to a Super Bowl team already, that just felt like a pick where I was like, I have a lot of Eagles friends. I was like, fuck.
It feels like the epitome of a Howie pick, you know? Like, you just
Such a Howie pick, dude.
You know he's going to be a stud.
Such a Howie pick, dude. Like, such a Howie pick.
Get him in front of the who was it? They traded with the Commanders, I think, right? Or no, they traded in front of the Commanders.
No, they traded in front.
Yeah, so who knows? Maybe Washington wanted him, and they got intel and swooped ahead of one of their own teams in their own division. So, you know, it's just such a Howie move, and I'm sure he's just going to be a great player.
Such a Howie move, dude. I mean, it's hard to give a team at the end of the draft the biggest winner, but I think just getting a guy like that for an Eagles team that's already, like, disgusting, he's just going to be such a problem on that team, and I just already know it. I think my biggest loser, dude, and it's not because of the guy they drafted. I think it's because I just don't understand what they're building. And the New Orleans Saints, Kelvin Banks is one of the best offensive linemen in the draft, but what are they doing over there? Like, Alvin Kamara is probably getting close to the end of his career. Derek Carr doesn't have a shoulder. You really don't have any impressive wide receivers that can stay healthy for a full year. Your defense is kind of fucked, but you go, we're just going to draft an O-lineman. I don't really understand the move there. I feel like if you're the Saints, this was a draft, or maybe you could have traded out of this spot for another team that really needs an offensive lineman and would be willing to give up a lot. I mean, you saw, I know it's totally different from the Browns and the Jags, but the Browns also got the Jaguars next year first-round pick for a second pick. So you don't know what teams would be willing to give up for this 9th pick. And I feel like the top 10 picks in the NFL are hot commodities. And it just kind of felt like a pick where I don't understand the thesis. Maybe you really like people in the comments are saying arch for next year or quarterback for next year. You want to make sure you have protection, but there's nothing to look forward to. Like, Kelvin Banks is kind of coming into a team where you don't know what quarterback you're going to be protecting. There's really no, like, Alvin Kamara seems like he's 1 foot in, 1 foot out every year by week 5. So I don't really understand the pick here. Not that the player's not great, because I think Kelvin Banks is fucking gross. But it's like, I think they have more problems than just Kelvin Banks plugging in. Like, if you're going to commit to the trench, you need to draft 2 more offensive linemen to help Kelvin Banks on that line. So I don't know what the Saints are necessarily building. Like, they got rid of Lattimore, haven't done anything on the defensive side of the ball. Like, I don't know what they're doing or building, and just kind of drafting an offensive lineman, I guess, if you're, you know, it just seems like a safe pick. But I think the biggest loser is the Saints, because I don't know if this moves their needle in terms of, like, what you really need to get done, which is, like, solidifying a lot of, like, maybe weapons for the future or a defensive piece for the future. But maybe they think Kelvin Banks is a guy you build the entire trench around, which is very possible. But I don't know. This just felt like a very odd top 10 pick from the Saints. Not that I think the player is bad, but they would be my biggest loser just because I don't know what they're building over there.
They did lose Ryan Ramczyk,
that's true.
Their stud tackle. I think they're fucking full-on rebuilding. I mean, they had those 2 wins to start the year last year, and then they ended up being fucking horrible.
Horrible.
And when you're building, I mean, you start with the trenches.
Yeah, so I think that's just what their plan is. Maybe they're just trying to be bad this year for a better quarterback class next year.
I mean, the thesis has to be you get a quarterback next year then, right? Like, if you don't draft Shadur, Jackson Dart, like, you have to think there's a quarterback they like more next year.
Or they take Shadur today and they knew.
Yeah, that's the talks. Is they might go get Shadur today.
Wow, That would be unbelievable. Who's your guys' biggest loser in the draft? That would be mine, just because I don't understand what they're building. I mean, yeah, I guess it's a full it felt like, to me, just as a Jets fan that knows what it's like to go through a rebuild, it felt like when we drafted Mekhi Becton, it had nothing else, and that didn't work out for us. So, like, it just felt like I just got PTSD flashbacks of being a Jets fan and being like, holy shit, they're doing what we did when we drafted Mekhi Becton. Like, you're just drafting like a really good offensive lineman and hoping that helps move your needle in like one way this year. Given we've also never been able to draft a good quarterback, but I just got PTSD flashbacks.
I'm going to go biggest loser. There's an obvious answer in the Chargers, but I think I'm going to go with the Browns. Because although the Browns did get a great return for the second overall pick, you get a first for next year, and you get basically pick swaps for the second and the fourth this year. You lose out on a chance to get a generational talent like Travis Hunter. By all means, that's Browns behavior. You know, I tweeted this yesterday. Like, that is the most classic Browns shit ever. If you want a real game changer in your offense or just on your team, take Travis Hunter. He was the best player in college last year, bar none. You know, and Mason Graham, by all means, too, is a great player. They need to compete with a good trenches in the AFC North. But, you know, you have a chance to get Travis Hunter, and you kind of squander the opportunity for maybe an extra first-round pick next year. I think that they missed an opportunity there for sure.
Okay. Lauren?
There really wasn't one that stuck out to me. The one that was just the most surprising to me was, now I know Egbuka is awesome. It's no hate towards him. I'm just thinking for the Buccaneers, just like, why would you not build up your defense? I just don't understand them going to get a receiver. Nothing against Egbuka. I know he's really good, but I don't disagree. Think they should have got a corner.
I don't disagree. I also think like something Gruden said that I listened to this morning that was true. That it was. I'm not taking his take. I'm just going to repeat what he said. That tells me that Godwin isn't progressing as much as they'd like through his rehab. And
yeah,
you're kind of have you have an aging Mike Evans who can definitely still get you 1,000 yards every single year. But that tells me that something with Godwin isn't going well.
But that often they move the ball. It's just they let up 30 points a game. You know, it's like when you start building that defense, maybe they start doing that today. I don't know. But 100%. I was just surprised by that pick.
Yeah, that was surprising because they took McMillan last year, who was really good last year. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
And dude, these are just day one winners and losers. Like, these teams can also have a phenomenal day 2 and day 3 of this NFL draft. Like, the chat's bitching on a couple of these, which who cares? But it's just day one. You know, I mean, like, the Buccaneers could go get defense. The Saints could go get their guy. Like, these are just day one winners and losers of like what was available and what was taken. I still think it's crazy that corners were taken and Will Johnson wasn't taken out of Michigan. Like, that was a shock for me. I don't know if anyone else felt that, but that was a complete shock for me that, you know, guys like
people are upset because
Maxwell Hairston
he didn't participate in the combine, right?
I don't know if he did or didn't.
Is he injured? I think there was some talk.
No, I don't know if he's injured.
Injuries.
I don't know, but that was my biggest shock outside of Shadur, that Will Johnson didn't get drafted. I mean, he's fucking
people for sure thought that was gonna happen. Yeah.
But that'll do it for the NFL talk, unless you guys have anything else you'd like to talk about or anything else that really shocked you.
Very excited to see where Cam Scatterbo goes.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, who are we looking forward to getting drafted? Obviously, I mean, I think I know Lauren's answer.
Today's the day. Today's the day.
Today could be the day, dude. Today could be the day.
My quick positions that you need for the second and third round for the Jets.
What we need?
Yeah.
We need a wide receiver, dude. I'm really hoping that Luther drops to this 42nd pick in the second round, because Luther Burden next to Garrett Wilson, I think, would just be – and this is my hot take of the draft. I think Luther Burden is the best wide receiver in the draft just because of his mentality and what he does in the football field. I mean, there were so many times on Mizzou where it was like, Luther, we need you to win the game for us, and he would do it. And there were so many times where he would get fucking smoked and come back on the field.
He just didn't get to showcase like what he could do last year because of the team he's on, which I never understood why he stayed there. Actually, I do, because they threw a Brinks truck at him. But I think that's what hurt him, is you didn't see him shine really last year. But we all know he's good. And also, he didn't Did he participate in the combine or no?
I think he did, right?
Did he? Did he run a 40 and stuff? I don't remember.
I'm not remembering. I don't remember. The combine feels like it was last year.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it really does. I don't remember.
But he was running routes last night on his Instagram at midnight. So clearly you're getting a guy that's fired up. And I would just love to have, like, also just that's like a personality draft too. Like that kid wants to be on the field. Like he's got that psycho football brain where like he might have just got years taken off his life in GTA by getting hit so hard. And he wants to be out there the next play. And the Jets don't have a lot of culture guys like that. I would just love if Luther Burden dropped to us. I mean, that would just be like a dream come true. And then obviously other positions that need to get filled. Like we need to figure out our defense as well, because there was a lot of problems last year and guys like CJ Mosley leaving and us not getting great replacements. That's a need. Yeah. That's a need for sure for the Jets. But
I'm definitely excited to see where all these running backs go and when they start going.
Yeah.
Me too.
Like a few of them start going, it's just going to be quick.
Dude, I think the two I'm looking forward to most to see what situations they end up is Judkins and Caleb Johnson. I'm really excited for those two. I want to see where those two go.
Yeah.
Are you higher on Judkins than Travion Henderson?
I'm higher on Judkins than I am Henderson, but I feel like everyone that knows football and that's like a scout is way higher on Henderson than Judkins. So that might just be my poopy brain. But I think Judkins is going to be a better pro. I don't know.
Okay.
I think Caleb Johnson is going to fall to a really good playoff contending team, and he's going to be unbelievable for them. Like he just feels like a guy that goes under the radar, and then you're like, holy fuck, the Bills just got Caleb Johnson. And he just runs through people's faces like he did at Iowa. But
too. I'm really wondering. They don't have a pick till the third round. They only have one right now, so I'm excited to see who they take.
Yeah, I'm also interested to see where Scatterbo goes to. He feels like a personality draft too, where like you're just drafting a guy that like doesn't mind.
No way we got Scatterbo mentions.
I got to give it to Rat. I mean, he's the only guy that like they've had out Arizona State.
Higher than Quinn.
No.
He might go higher than Quinn, dude.
Actually, he probably should go higher than Quinn.
Dude, we'll never see Scatterbo on the field.
We'll see Quinn on the field.
We'll be able to go watch Quill over there.
Relax.
In Oregon, we'll go watch Quinn start for a whole year. All right, let's talk about some stuff that happened in the NBA last night. If you're a Knicks fan, welcome in. If you want to know what my thoughts were, I feel like we're just totally back. Like I think you saw two games in New York where I think the Knicks thought we were just going to roll over Detroit, and Detroit came out, and I give them all the credit in the world and just punched us in the mouth 2 straight games. We got really lucky that we came back and won game 1. And I think it was because Detroit was just taking their foot off the gas a little bit and had some guys that have never been in the playoffs that thought shit was sweet with that big of a lead. And I think last night woke the Knicks up. Like Jalen Brunson said, we had it to start fast. Cat came out and started as fast as you'd like. It feels like everyone in the media was calling Karl-Anthony Towns a pussy, and he came out last night pushing Paul Reed, setting the tempo, setting the pace, wanting the ball down low, throwing his body around. And it felt like they woke up the Knicks, which I think was a little bit of a problem. And I think Detroit could have lulled us to sleep and beat us in 5-6 games. I genuinely do believe that. But last night, it just felt like from start to finish, you woke the Knicks up. And that's like not a good thing for Detroit. And I think that game last night, no matter how this series goes, how many games it goes, gives me confidence that we can compete with a Cleveland and a Boston and an Indiana again when we're fully healthy. Just because it felt like we finally woke up. Like guys were being physical. Guys were talking shit. And it felt like the Detroit just should not have woken us up like that. And it felt really good to watch that win. Although I don't know if you guys saw what happened with 0.5 seconds left.
Yeah, I did. You guys almost there. It wasn't even you guys, it was the refs.
Oh, yeah. When they started the clock too fast.
Dude, I've never seen something like that happen in anything, dude. In any league where you just gift your home team an extra possession when the game should have been over. Like that was the most fraudulent fucking bullshit thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Jalen Brunson throws it off the rim, and everyone in basketball knows that ball isn't live until it gets touched. That's like one of the first things you learn when playing basketball is off an inbound, off a free throw. The clock doesn't start, and it's not live until another human person touches the ball. And in an NBA playoff game with 0.5 seconds left, and I give Detroit credit. I mean, you gave your team another chance. If Jalen Duren isn't a fucking idiot, you have a chance to win the game. They start the clock the minute the ball touches the rim.
I know.
And gives them another complete inbound play. I was just honestly bewildered that was even allowed to happen. That was the most unbelievable thing ever. I mean, I give them all the credit in the world. If you're that Detroit clock keeper, good for you, dude. I mean, you did your job there. You did your job. You gave him another chance, but that was unbelievable.
He's probably so far gone from that stadium.
Or they gave him a raise. The guy gave him a full another possession from inside inbounds to actually go win a basketball game.
It was crazy how I didn't even see it go from 6-2 or 6-1. I missed that. I was just watching the draft. How did that happen?
You mean at the end of the game?
Yeah.
They hit threes. It was Toby, I'm pretty sure, just fucking buttered a three. But yeah, I mean, they just we were getting layups, they were getting threes, and it just chipped away slowly. And then we had free throws. And Jalen Brunson just cannot make 2 free throws. I don't know why he's our guy that gets the ball in crunch time. It's going to fucking kill us when we play an actual good team.
That's an underrated issue for you guys, Mike.
So underrated, dude, that he's our free throw guy and he consistently goes 1 for 1. It's not even when he misses one, you're shocked. It's fuck, dude. I would rather have Mikal Bridges at the free throw line. He's a consistent 2 for 2 guy. The fact that Jalen, and I think that's where his poopy, I need to be the guy, I need the guy brain steps in, where he's I just want the ball at the end. But it's going to be a total disaster. In a game where those free throws need to go through the hoop, and he goes 1 for 1 like he did in series against the Pacers, and that lost us the game.
Yeah.
But I mean, it felt like we woke up. A 1-point win, 2-point win, whatever it is. You guys can bitch as much as you want, but we went into Detroit and we got a win on the road in the playoffs. I'll take that any day of the week. And I think the toughness we showed of being all right, we're done getting punched in the mouth, and it felt like we punched them in the mouth a little bit. And I loved just seeing Cat throw the body around, dude. Just seeing Cat push Paul Reed, dude. That just got me fucking going, dude. I would love to actually share my screen really quick because I kind of want to
take this off again.
I kind of want to share this video. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this here. Let me see if I can do this here. Yeah. I just wanted to share this for the chat really quick here. I don't know how to fix that, but you guys can watch it anyway.
Go Pistons! And fuck you, Jalen Brunson.
Shut up. I mean, what are we doing?
Sorry.
Go Pistons! And fuck you, Jalen Brunson.
Shut up, bitch.
I get the bands, count the blue
I mean,
cheese.
come on.
For every meal, I pop a pill. I do that shit so I'm dumb. I had your girl, she on my crib. That was a 1-on-1. Smoke back for that gas, almost lost my lung. My trash, nigga got smashed. This shit smell like stuff. 16, honey, got a couple ups.
I mean, if you want to talk about getting yourself going, dude, I woke up to that edit, and I mean, I've never been more fired up.
Dude, my favorite thing ever is that "shut up, bitch."
So good. Shut up, bitch. Got me going. I mean, dude, I texted my cousin who's been a Knicks fan since he was a little kid. And I was just like, dude, I know this edit's going to feel so good. And he watched and he was like, dude, I'm so tired of Detroit. They can't even drink their own water.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Fuck, dude. Fuck. But yeah, I'm amped. I think we close. I think we win game 4, and I think we win game 5 and close out. And then the Pistons come back next year as a serious contender and a serious playoff team. But I think this game woke us up and showed us that we can just again, Tobias Harris is the only reason why they're ever in any of these games. So that just has to stop.
Supposedly they'll get Devin Booker.
The Pistons?
Yeah.
That would suck.
Remember when you and I were talking about that?
Dude, I mean, that would suck as a team in the East if they got Devin Booker. They would be so good with Devin Booker.
They would.
Fuck, that would just suck. Other than that, I mean, the other things that happened were that Clippers home playoff environment, Ballmer has to be horny as fuck. That was just everything I think he wanted, dude. I mean, they beat the shit out of the Nuggets, and I think a lot of it was the Clippers finally have an atmosphere. They finally have a stadium. They finally have a fan base that can go, oh, we're going to the Clippers Stadium, not to we're the fourth thought in the Staples Center.
I know. I don't know how that got swept yesterday. That was their first home playoff game. That got so swept because I think it was because the Pistons got all of the love for having a home playoff game for the first time in eons. The Clippers yesterday were just a max. I mean, they just dominated the Nuggets.
Dominated. Except Harden didn't go over his fantasy or his points. Like, it was such a blowout that nothing on Prize Picks went well.
No one did. Harden, Jokic didn't go over. Jokic hooked.
That was just one of those like classic NBA games where no prop came through for anybody.
Yeah.
Like, even though the Clippers blew their shit out, like, it's not like someone on the Nuggets really came through for you. Like, it was at any button you clicked in that game, it felt like was just an automatic loser. And I had Harden in so many, and he started so hot.
Yeah. I think the only one that did probably come home was Norm Powell.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jokic RA barely cashed. Yeah.
That's insane.
But yeah, it was a really tough game for props. Lost a shit ton of money, but we bounced back.
Really bad game props. I will say, when you're talking about props, how funny was Jalen Brunson covering his point line, dude? He went 2 for 4 in the last 2 free throws, and he had 28
Trent
points.
was sweating that.
Just squeaked over.
Trent was sweating that. I forgot about that.
I had it too in one of my lineups. I was like, holy shit, like, he might get his 30 ball at the line. And then he missed that one. And I was like, dude, there's no fucking way you just missed that free throw.
Yeah.
And then he got fouled again. And I was like, dude, he might miss this first free throw anyway because it can end the game. It's just like such a Jalen Brunson experience.
He came through.
Mike?
Bad. Huh?
He can't be missing those.
He missed them all. Dude, that game where Nembhard hit the 3 against the Knicks, the only reason they won that game is because Brunson missed a free throw on the other end to make it a 3-point game. Like, he's lost us playoff games from the free throw line, and I don't know why no one in the room is like, hey, Jalen, you're not good at shooting free throws. Just makes no sense to me. 0 sense.
You got to be your clutch player, dude, if he's going to be the one carrying you guys. It's fucked.
Big Purr's been showing up.
He's going to do it. Cat?
Big Purr showing up.
What's Cat's shooting on?
Cat's like not a phenomenal free throw shooter. I think it should be Mikal Bridges, dude. He fucking went up there in crunch time and went 4 for 4 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, could be.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens going into the next couple games. How about the Trent finally takes a bet on the Oklahoma City Thunder -10, and it's the only game they haven't covered this series. And the Thunder have an unbelievable comeback because the Grizzlies scored a whopping 32 points across the final 2 quarters.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's only 32 points. I didn't realize that.
Job.
Obviously.
Out.
Were they down 30?
They were up. They were like up by a
Yeah, I
like
was about
15,
OKC.
20.
They were down 30 at one point, yeah?
Yeah. The Grizzlies scored 18 in the third, 13 in the fourth.
That's insane. That is insane.
I mean, without Jaw, like, who really is going
They're moose shit.
They're horrible.
I mean, holy shit. 13 points in a fourth quarter in the playoffs?
Yeah. So bad. And, I mean, to be fair, I'm sure the Thunder just started to clamp up on defense, too. Like, they're not going to let anyone do anything.
0.
They just want a challenge. Like, let's let them get up 30 and just see just beat them in a different way.
Yeah, they were like, you know what, guys? Let's just foot off the gas. Foot off the gas. Let's sweat tonight, huh? Let's just get a little sweat going here, guys.
SGA finally went over all of his lines, too.
Finally, dude. I mean, Jesus Christ.
He was so due.
Did he go over his points? I had his fantasy.
He definitely went over fantasy. I don't know if he went over his points. I think the funniest thing in that game, and not even funny, actually, that was a bad word for it. Did you guys see the play that Ja went out on?
Mm-mm.
Yes, I did.
I didn't see it.
Am I the only one that felt like that didn't, I know it hurts when you hit the floor like that. That didn't look that bad. And when he pulled up his shirt, he had pads right by his ribs that he fell on. So if it comes out today that he like broke a rib, I'll feel really bad. But when I watched it, that felt like, because I had Ja's points, I was like, oh, he'll be back. He's just going to go in the locker room and come right back.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
did that not look like he fell right on his ribs from a really high height, which I'm assuming he like cracked a rib or it felt like a rib broke. But I remember he pulled up his shirt and he had a really weird compression shirt on that had pads up here.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it was his hip.
Oh, his hip.
Yeah, it was his hip, and I think they diagnosed him with like a deep tissue contusion or something like that in his pelvis. I think that was the official diagnosis.
Man, dude, no strip club for the next couple weeks, dude. You can't be getting danced on with a contused hip, dude.
It did look a little hard, but a lot of people were like coming at Lou Dort for saying that it was a dirty play. Like, I disagree completely. I don't think it was a dirty play.
I didn't think it was a dirty play either. I think Ja, just the nature of Ja is he's so out of control when he goes to the basket.
Yeah, and I guess Lou was a little out of control too because he was starting to slip. But I mean, regardless of what do you want him to do? I mean, he's standing right in the way, regardless of if he tries to go for the block or not.
Yeah, I don't know what. I didn't even know that was a discourse. It just looked like Ja is just classic out of control. And as a defender, it's hard to like be in control when an out of control person is coming at you. Yeah. And then also when Ja jumps out of the gym, it's kind of hard to know where to put your body because he's fucking 6 feet above you when he gets off the ground.
That's unfortunately why he's not dunking anymore. And he started to do it more.
Now he's just Russell Westbrook, dude. Like, once that athleticism goes, you're going to see what happened to Russell Westbrook. Like, it seems like everything Ja does is out of control. Everything. But that's what makes him so good.
Facts. But now he's out.
No. That was just a crazy. I don't know why. Like, there's not many injuries where I'm like, oh, he's going to come back in. And then when he doesn't, I'm like shocked.
Yeah.
I think it's also because I was coming off of watching Gruden's quarterback camp with Jackson Dart and watching him literally get his face melted off by Georgia and then being like, yeah, I went in the locker room, shot me up, and I went back out there. And then I saw Ja fall, and I was like, oh, he'll be back in.
Yeah. I'll shoot him up with something.
Yeah,
give him a quick shot up, dude. Give him a quick shot up. The last thing I wanted to talk about before we surf some slate, because there's a lot of games and we got the weekend to talk about as well, is how about those Oakland Athletics and Jacob Wilson walking it off?
Dude, they always play so good. It's unbelievable. They always play so good.
Oh, I forgot you're a Rangers fan. I'm sorry, Lauren.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
Didn't mean to circle the wagons on that. Just this win total looks so good. They're above 500.
Dude, it's so.
I'm sorry for busting in your face.
Obviously, I'm a Rangers fan, but like I love this A's team, and I love seeing them do good. Where it's almost just like chalk it up, Let's make up for this win in another series.
I mean, I hope you guys go on and win the World Series. I could give a rat's about any sort of success outside of the Oakland Athletics, but they look so good. Dude, we're above 500. I genuinely thought when I looked at the schedule, we were going to get to the Rangers and have 4 wins. Like, that's where I thought it was going to be. And sitting here with this A's win total, like, I'm on the moon that we took 2 from the Rangers. Like, in what world did the Oakland Athletics get 2 on the Rangers?
Dude, without Rooker last night, too.
Like, what?
And Shea Bangaliers, didn't he go like 4 for 4?
Yeah, dude. Like,
he was cracked.
The boys were dialed. Jacob
Wilson is he's unreal.
Who went? Kurtz? He's getting some hits. Dude, he's getting on bags. Like, dude,
wow.
We look good. We look good, dude. We look good.
Yeah, good little squad.
Rav, are you getting excited for potential meals to be paid for, or where's your head at with that?
No, we ended up doing the $100 bet, and I got plus 165 from Trent. So he sent me 165 yesterday.
Wow.
Wow.
Hashtag thank you, Trent. $165 I can now just spend on food anyways.
Wow.
Taking 2-3 from the Angels after a really shitty last week or so was kind of encouraging. They had 18 hits, 11 hits, and then I don't know how many hits they had yesterday, but 3 runs. Gorski hit a bomb. How about that?
New hitting coach.
Matt Haig.
LOL Blue said, I'm just catching up on YouTube. Some of the worst draft takes out of you 3. Just wait till you get here, brother. Wait till you get to this part of the show, brother. But I don't know anything else that happened in sports other than the NBA stuff. So do you guys want to surf some slate now?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I would love to. Welcome back to Slate Surfer Spar Show. We surf Slate, give you all the plays and parlays you need. We got some interesting spreads in the NBA playoffs, which is where I kind of want to start. When I opened up the Bookski, the Magic were plus 4.5. They're now plus 3.5. I assume Jason Tatum's still not playing. You're getting an Orlando Magic home game, I believe. Am I correct? Or is this their second home game, Rev? What's going on here?
Their first home game, pretty sure.
Okay. And now Brown is questionable. I feel like I'm just going to take the plus 164. I think the Magic squeak one.
Wow.
I think the Magic squeak one, dude.
Yeah, if it's not, I mean, shit.
And I think if Brown gets out and it goes from questionable to out, you're probably going to see the Magic flip to maybe a short favorite. So I'll take the 164 right now in my pocket.
Look at that total.
So gross.
So gross.
So gross.
1-7, bro.
So gross, dude.
Honestly, Mike, I might just tell you with that. I
think that feels good, dude. Does that not feel good?
It does feel good. And they've been showing some fight. Like, it's not like they're being dominated like the Grizzlies in the first two games. They've been showing fight.
They've been showing fight. Them and the Heat, dude, have been showing fight against teams they probably shouldn't be.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll tell you with that. I like that.
I saw an interview with Giannis, and he said after game 2, I know what I have to do. Like, I know what I have to do. And I think this is where the Bucks come alive, and I have to take the -5. Like, here's the thing about it. I'm 0 for 2 now, or 0 for 3 because I took the money line and the spread last game. I have to bet the Bucks until I get one. So I'm going to take their -5. The Bucks money line is going to be in my parlay today. I apologize to everyone in here for that, but
Feels good.
I have to do it.
Really
I have
good.
to do it.
Yeah.
Especially after you get Giannis going in a press conference saying, I know what I have to do. Come on.
You have to.
I have to. I know what I have to do.
You're gonna get your
After
coin.
hearing that, I know what I have to do.
You're gonna get your coin back, and that's the only way to do it.
I have to do it. I have to do it. Lakers Timberwolves. What do you guys think about this one?
Minnesota.
The Timberwolves back in mini and they're -3.
Line
What do
moved.
you guys think about this, dude?
Well, I moved.
Went from 2.5 to
I
3.
did.
What do you guys think about this one?
Elsie, you have anything?
I mean, Lakers are moving on from this round. I would just take the Lakers.
Dude, I agree. I just want to take Lakers money line. Like Luka's won on the road before in the playoffs. They just finally clicked in game 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Timberwolves are still a year away from and a couple pieces from beating this Lakers team in a series. I don't know why. I just kind of want to take plus 124 with Luka in the playoffs again.
Yeah, that's one you just hang your hat on. And he's just playing with a different kind of mentality right now too. He's pissed off.
He's so dialed in. Like, is that a crazy take? I don't know if that's crazy out of us. Like, I don't know if a lot of people, because I think you saw the Rockets become a -3 favorite and get a win last game. But I don't know. We watched Luka so closely in last year's playoffs. Like, these are games he wins. He doesn't give a fuck.
I agree.
Really feel
you.
like the sharp side, dude. I feel like a lot of people are going to want to press that plus 135 button.
You think so?
Yeah. But I don't know if I can back the T-Wolves, dude.
I don't know if I can either, dude. Even though Ant Edwards has shown you no reason to not.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, and in fact, he knew that press conference clip from him saying, yeah, everyone expects the Lakers to win. He knows what he has to do. It's just like Giannis.
Can he do it?
I think I'm going to click Lakers money line. I'm going to click that button. Or I'm just going to take the points and have 3 points in my pocket. Maybe they win by 1.
Yeah.
If the Wolves do win.
I like that. I
think here's the thing that is crazy to me, at least when thinking about this Lakers series. And I don't know if this is Luke is going to show up. He's shown you time and time and again, every single year in the Mavericks, in the playoffs, he does not have off games. So Luke is going to show up. The reason why the Mavericks won a lot of games last year in the playoffs was that he shows up every game. And Kyrie Irving, if you guys remember, wasn't that phenomenal during the playoffs. He would have really off games and the Mavs would still squeak. I think Austin Reeves finally found his feet last game, which is really dangerous. And also LeBron doesn't have off games. So if you have a guy that you know is showing up in Luka, and LeBron James is next to him now, and LeBron James just does not have off games. He now is in a point in his career where he does everything you need him to do to win that game, whether it's rebound, pass the ball, score. Like, I don't know how you don't just take the Lakers every single game.
I mean, yeah, that's where my head's at with that too.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm definitely taking the Lakers. Fuck, dude. I don't give a fuck.
The Lakers are my finals champion, so I'm definitely inclined to go Lakers, but I don't know, dude. I don't know either. It could be the over. It could be the over. I mean, they only 179 points.
It could be the over.
It could so be the over.
I like that a lot, actually.
Total was at 212 for
moving down.
For last game, and now I don't know. I think I'm going to go the over. Honestly, I think I'm going to go the over.
It is a little juicy.
Haven't scored more than 100 in either game.
Okay, I could go the over with you. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, we have two baseball heads on here. Do we have any baseball plays out of you two? I'm not even going to bother giving my baseball plays, even though I need to find one for my parlay. So do you guys have any opinions on the diamond tonight? The Athletics play the White Sox again. Do you guys have anything that you like?
The only game I've looked at is obviously the Rangers game. I do think we win tonight.
Okay.
In San Fran.
Okay. Rav Skeens Day against the Doyas.
Skeens versus Yamamoto today.
It's a banger.
I mean, obviously, I think that under could probably air. I think if you fade the Pirates team total, it's probably air. They had an incredible offensive series against the Angels, and they're not traveling too far. But now you got the damn Dodgers on deck. I don't know if we're going to see much offense from the Bucks this weekend.
The damn Dodgers.
Dude, Skeens is on the mound, and the Dodgers are minus 200.
Dude, this is a game you just take the under. 6.5. Just take the under.
Oh, could so be an under.
Unless the Dodgers just splooge on Skeens, which
could also happen.
We were talking about this. Maybe this is finally a good game for Skeens' case. You like the K's? I thought you said you didn't. I mean, he just hasn't been striking anyone out. Like, he's been getting outs, but he hasn't been striking anyone out. Yeah. You were like, Trent was going through the lineup with me yesterday, the Dodgers lineup, and there's definitely some strikeout potential at the bottom of the lineup with Muncy, with Pages. There was, he was saying, you probably will get Ohtani once. You could definitely get Mookie once. Mm-hmm. And we're already at 6 or 7 right there. If you're counting 2 for Muncy, 1 or 2 for Pages.
Yeah, I think the only thing that would kill that is if they battle with him and that pitch count gets super high. Which the
Dodgers definitely have been doing all year. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, he hasn't been starting off a lot of his counts with first pitch strikes. No, he hasn't. So, I don't know.
He's wasted so many pitches this year. It's sad.
I know, and he's had so many 0-2 counts too.
Mm-hmm.
So many.
I love when you and Trent put your heads together and try to find a path to 10. Just makes me so happy that you guys sat down last night and genuinely were like, dude, maybe he gets Muncy twice.
Pages is Edmund, home run hitter. Maybe he strikes out once or twice. I don't know.
Oh, maybe you'll get Freeman 3 times.
It's brutal, bro. I don't know why I put that square in my fucking go well. That's the only one that's selling. I put Pirates in there.
Am I the only one that's a little freaked out that Zach Gallen's plus 110 at home? Isn't the system Gallen at home is when he's fucking gross? Or am I crazy?
Let me look at that game.
Dude, I have no idea.
Even though it's the Braves. The Braves own him. Okay. Thank you, chat.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat.
It's Sale versus Gallen. Wow. And that total's kind of high.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
The total is high.
I don't know. What do you think, Lauren? Like, do you think it's the Braves?
Dude, they're just such a hard team to back.
They really are.
Dude, I think this is a game you just take the over.
Okay.
Nasty over.
Nasty over. I do have a play in this game, though, just on Prize Picks.
Oh. All right. Well, let's move to Prize Picks now. I already placed a 2-piece today. I like to place an early morning 2-piece in NBA every morning. My 2-piece today is I took Damian Lillard points. It was at 17 last game. It's now up to 22. This is a must-win game. You can't go down 3-0 if you're the Bucks, and I feel like the Pacers are going to play as fast as they normally play, and everything might go through Giannis, and Giannis is definitely going to be in my lineup that I make later today or even in the one that we make all together. But I think Dame gets 25 tonight. And then I took Naz Reid points after getting in foul trouble last game, not really doing anything significant. I think you're back in Minnesota. Naz feels comfortable. The Lakers don't have a lot of size, and it's only at 12 flat. So I took Dame and Naz Reid points. But let's chef on Prize Picks. Lauren, do you want to start us off? What are you liking? Where are you going?
I'm going to look at Damian real quick. It said his points.
22.
It's an attractive little chart there.
It is a very attractive chart. And he was up for 17 last game, didn't cover that, and then they bumped him up. I think that's 5 whole points?
Okay.
What I hate about the playoffs so far is a lot of these games have been just super high defensively and high effort defensively. And the props, like a lot of them they're not hitting as well as they were in the regular season.
I don't disagree.
They took it off. I liked Gallon strikeouts, but they only have his Goblin or Demons up now. It's at 5.5.
No way.
I love that today. Damn.
Do you like his fantasy?
No, just his strikeouts. I'll get back in lab.
Shit. I'm very inclined to just put Giannis points if that's okay with you guys too. I think after saying I know what I have to do, he's up for 33 points. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
Dude, I did my little props that cash thing and they fucking took it off.
That's fucking moose. I'm gonna put Giannis points. I'm sorry, guys.
Giannis?
Oh no, that they could be donked.
Yeah. Let's see.
While you guys chef, I'm going to tell the chat my parlay today. Bucks money line. The Athletics team total over 5.5. I think the Bats stay hot against the White Sox. I don't care that Burke has been kind of a revelation for the win right now. And then the Oilers money line against the Kings at home in Edmonton. Plus 398.
Wow. Plus 400 apple a day keeps the doctor away.
I know, dude. Yesterday's was fucking moose shit.
Because there's no graphic.
Wait, Mike, did your draft lineup hit?
Mine is down to the HBCU player.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot you did.
How about Colson Loveland squeaking my over 2.5 Big Ten players, dude? I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that one, but yeah.
I know, me too. But thank God. Shout out to Chicago Bears. Cashed me up. What do you got?
I think I have one.
Okay.
I think LC's really going to like this one, and I can't believe I'm about to say this guy's name. I think I want to go with Franz Wagner today.
Okay.
Rab, I'm so proud of you. I knew you'd come around.
He barely eclipsed his point total the last 2 games, and now it's higher than the totals were the last 2 games. I'm going to go I think it's at 24.5 on PP, maybe even 23.5.
Yeah, 24.5.
Small forwards have been kind of grubbing against the Celtics the last 10 games or so, and he has eclipsed his line both times so far, and it's higher. So I'm going to go with Wagner. Wagner.
Hey, Rav. Is that one of Lauren's favorite players? I don't know the history there.
Dude, I just have this thing with Franz. I'm a big Franz backer.
It does, dude. Every time.
But dude, I was telling Rav, I think what it is when we first did like a collab together, he was the Take Me Home piece, and he cashed with it was 1.2 seconds left to get his points, and he got fouled and cashed us. And I'm like,
I remember that.
For whatever reason, I just hold on to that.
No, that'll do it, dude. That'll get you. That'll have a guy solidified in your head as a GOAT for a long time.
100%.
LC come to the house and be like, I think it's Franz today, and I kind of just shove it out because I hate betting on the fucking Magic. But now we're kind of forced to. So.
Dude, I haven't really digged into lab, but if y'all are cool with it, since they don't have the normal square up.
You want to go a little
Gallon Goblin case?
Yeah, it could be done.
It's a 4Xer on the that's good. That's not bad.
Dude, so Franz 24.5, Rav?
Yeah.
Okay. And
I
then
donated
William
yesterday
Gallo
with
got me.
Harden and Jokic, so I need some Goon Gabbies to get me back.
Dude, this
I
could
could take a
actually be
Goon
so
Gob.
green.
I could take a Goon Gob. Should I change off Giannis?
No.
I already
Okay.
locked it in.
Okay. Well, I'm locking it in right now.
Wait, what made you switch to Giannis switch to Giannis over Dame?
Because I already have Dame, and like I don't want, if people are tailing this and we get a graphic going, I don't want anyone else sweating Dame because he could just so shit down his leg.
Who are you like deep down more confident in?
Definitely Giannis, dude. I think he.
Okay.
After you can't say I know what I have to do and then not drop like 50.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, seriously.
That's
You
what
know what I'm saying? Like that'd be just nuts if you
Alright.
say that and then you lose and not drop 50. I do want to do, if that's okay, maybe a little weekend demon lineup.
Oh, okay.
Because we're going to have a weekend. And just for everybody that is wondering about plays for this weekend as we get into it for the NBA, obviously you can watch the socials. I'll be taking the Heat +6 tomorrow at home. And I'll be taking the Clippers -5.5 again at home. And then I will be taking the Warriors at home. And then I will be taking the Knicks again to beat the Pistons. So fuck. But let's try to do a little weekend demon lineup. Let me
What do you even do here?
Take your time. I would like to have
This
this
is
in
way out of
by-
my comfort zone.
I would like to have this in by 11:24. So let's just cook for a little bit here.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. I'm gonna go, and I want it to be a 6-piece. So everybody give 2.
Oh
can
my,
do-
Mike, you're asking for a lot.
All right, yeah. Let's do normal squares 6-piece for the weekend. Let's do normal squares 6-piece for the weekend.
All right.
I'm gonna do Curry points on Saturday, 26.5. And
I'm gonna need to go back to Jokic.
okay, that's fine. I like that. What do you want to do?
I really regretted not taking his PRA yesterday. I don't know what the line was, but I don't even think he hit it.
It's at 15.5.
Scamming assists. Let's just go PRA.
Okay, 15.5 Jokic PRA. I like that.
Mike, if I give you a less than on Detroit, will you back that?
Who are you thinking?
Cade?
You thinking a big game Cade?
No, I'm thinking a not big game Cade. I'm seeing if
This
you
is
would
the
dabble
game
in
they go
fading
down.
him.
But they could go down 3, like 3-1 if they lose.
Why can't that happen?
I mean, it could so happen.
Look, if you don't want to, I'll pick something else. But that one,
Is that one looking at you funny?
it's kind of looking at me funny.
Okay, I'm gonna click it for now.
I'm gonna change it because now people aren't gonna like that shit. If he busts, I'm gonna look like an idiot.
All right, we're removing Cade last time.
Let's get him out of there. It's a silly thought.
I think what I kind of want to do is I'm gonna go back to a square. Oh, they don't even have it up. Let's-
Oh, GG Cam.
No way you're Cam G'd.
Oh, we're good. Hold on.
You fucking.
I'm built for these.
I think I'm actually going to go back to Karl Anthony Towns PRA. I just don't think Detroit has an answer for him. I don't care if Isaiah Stewart plays or not. Rav, do we have another square out of you? And Lauren, do we have some potential squares out of you? Remember, they can also come from today too. Like you could give 2 baseballs from today and we could just get to Saturday.
Dude, I was so far in NBA lab and I'm just not.
You could stay there too, dude. That's okay.
Okay.
I want you to guess Skeens' K line today. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, okay.
7.
6.5.
Is that low or?
I think it's kind of low.
You want to take it?
Let's see if he has runs.
Here's 1.5 gob. 2.5 beam.
Square after 6. Kind of red fantasy score chart. Hmm.
You thinking Skeens or fantasies?
I think I'm gonna have to put my balls in the table and go Skeens fantasy.
Okay. All right, Lauren, your last two squares will round us out.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, first one, my favorite is Gallon. It's Goblin K's since the normal one isn't up.
You want to go back to it?
I want to go back to it. I'm not confident.
Okay.
Let's see if I can snipe a Ranger.
Is it hits allowed or fantasy score?
I think it could be fantasy, dude.
We'd have to have him get a quality start and a win. Probably, unless he just soars off.
That's true.
You want to just do his K's, dude? Put your nuts on Tabe?
He hasn't been K'ing, and I don't want to be the one to take his K's after I said he hasn't been K'ing and he's still good.
But that might be the
Like a
perfect chance
genius.
to take it, though, because you're saying he hasn't been getting his K's.
It could be him.
Let me see his shit again. He's gonna want to fucking show out against the Dodgers. He's gonna want to shove.
Dude, he is a big game pitcher.
You guys want to go K's?
I'm down for K's, dude, if you want to go K's.
That really tickles my gym.
All right, we can tickle some Jim with K's. Let me go back to him.
He gets 10 today. Oh my god.
He's so good, dude.
Oh, man. I'm scared.
What are we thinking, Lauren?
Let me look at Mystery of Oldie. No way.
How many are we at?
5.
LC.
I mean, you could also not go wrong with just Ann Edwards points at home. He hasn't hit this line.
If you like one, I wasn't.
I mean, Ant hasn't hit his points once.
Goblin's up right now. They don't really have any like normal squares for.
Ant hasn't hit his points once this series, and he's up for 26.5 normal.
Wow.
Back at home.
All right, do you want to go with that?
Yeah, do you want to do that?
Sounds great.
And Edwards points. And Curry got bumped in front of my eyes. Of course.
That's what I'm talking about.
God damn it. All right, we got Curry more than points. Jokic more than PRA. Karl Anthony Towns more than PRA. Zach Gallen, Goblin strikeouts. Paul Skeens strikeouts. And Anthony Edwards points.
I want it on record. I would be taking the normal square if it was up, but they took it off.
Is it back up?
No. It's for
Yeah.
sure getting bumped.
Do you like his Demon 6.5?
No, that's getting way too cute.
Is that getting too cute?
No, I like him finishing at 6. I think he finishes at 6. 7's a little. Let's tap the brakes.
Okay, I've locked it in.
All
All right, gang. Everybody want to say goodbye, and then we'll wrap it up, or any thoughts you have for anybody in the chat?
Peace, chat. Just one more time. I know we're all excited to see this guy get drafted today. Let's have one.
Let's.
Y'all didn't
have
like
one.
that?
Let's
Y'all
have
didn't
one.
like that.
Chat, let's fucking go, dude. We almost hit a 6-man on Friday last week. We don't want that to get swept. Let's run it back. Maybe we just needed LC for those final 2 squares.
I hope so. I hope so.
But yeah, that's basically it for me. Please keep me in your thoughts whenever Scottsville goes to the Browns.
Ouch. That would suck for you.
Yeah, it would really suck. Or the
That would
Raiders.
suck for you.
I'd actually not come out of my house. We couldn't come out of my room for days.
Yeah, that would definitely suck for you, dude.
All right. Do you want me to try to figure out how to get you by yourself, Mike?
Yeah, you can attempt. You can attempt Tanamo Bay here. Oh. I mean, we could just do this. Oh. We're attempting. Chat, we're attempting. These are just attempts. These are just attempts.
You want to do that?
Yeah, let's just do this.
I like how I just pop in.
You want to do this? All right, chat. We end every episode with a little bit of Mikey Core. And I think something I wanted to talk about today, I had a great therapy session yesterday that was really, really helpful. And it was just basically about reframing things. And I think something that I'm trying to visualize in my head now when situations aren't going well or when things aren't going my way is treating my brain kind of like a Rubik's Cube and trying to reframe and rework the situation or problem that maybe I'm going through and trying to find, making one side all one color and working through those things. And I think one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today is when things go wrong, I think we kind of see it as the end of our story. When something doesn't go right at work and we don't get that promotion or that presentation we made doesn't go our way or just something in our professional life or even our personal life doesn't go our way, I think we kind of see it as the end of our story. We kind of sit there and we go, oh man, dude, this is it. Like, this is the end. This is the end. I'm going to get fired or my career is over or whatever it might be in your personal life. And you just kind of end things in your head. And I think the one thing that we talked about yesterday is when things go wrong, it's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your healing story. And I just want to repeat that for you one more time. When things go wrong, it's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your healing story. And I think that was really crucial for me to hear because I think a lot of times, even in our professional lives, things don't go our way. We might not get the views that we want, just speaking for myself. The video might not pop off as you want. You might have to work overtime. You might have to do all these things you don't want to do, or that thing that you really, really, really want to do doesn't end up going your way. And we kind of sit there and we go, shit, it's over, man. It's over. And I think now I've kind of realized in my professional life, my personal life, even things with my family, when things don't go your way or things don't go wrong, just reframing it as the beginning of a new story. This is the beginning of my new work life. This is the beginning of my new goals at work instead of, oh, it's all over. This place sucks. I need to leave this place. I need to go somewhere else. I'm never going to get this promotion. And really trying to just reframe it. And if you're going through something really horrific, or even just using my grandma as an example, losing my grandma, and thinking that it was kind of like the end of what felt like everything. It was a really tough time, but now kind of realizing that it's kind of the beginning of my journey through grief and my healing journey. And I think that's been really therapeutic to be able to reframe that and rethink that. And I just want you guys to know if you're going through something, you're going to get through it. And that's why I always say, take one step at a time. I know how hard it can be to take a step forward. And the reality is we're going to take steps backwards, and that's going to happen backwards too many times on this show. But through doing this show, we've learned that it's about the attempt that makes you a strong person, not that result that we like to pin all of our successes on. So just be the stronger person and try to take a step forward today, no matter what that looks like. If it's just getting out of your bed 5 minutes earlier, if it's going to the gym, if it's going on that walk, whatever it might be the stronger person and just attempt to take that step forward. I love you. If you heard that today, I love you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. Hopefully your team drafts well today. Hopefully if your team is still in the playoffs or your baseball team, whatever it is, goes your way. It's Friday, so have yourselves a weekend. Go do something that makes you happy. Go get a couple beers with the boys. Go lock in on some sports and go have fun. Go do something that makes you happy and puts a smile on your face this weekend because you deserve it. I love you guys so much. Go tune into BTL right after this. Same stream, same place. All you got to do is just refresh and you'll see their countdown starting. I love you guys so much. We'll see you here on Monday. Have a great weekend. Thank you guys so much for everything.